The Beginner's Guide to Gappers. What a gapper is, how to trade a gapper, how to find a gapper. Really, what is a gapper? What does it mean when I'm talking about trading, day trading gappers? Talking about it in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Now, I want to make something very clear really quickly. If you're an expert day trader, if you're a trader who's been trading for years and you know everything about day trading, well, this video is probably not for you. But there's a lot of people who watch my videos, a lot of people who are new to the channel who don't understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a stock that is gapping up and how and why and what. What a gapper is and why we trade gappers. So like I said, if you're Warren Buffett, this video is just not going to apply to you. But if you're a new day trader and you want to learn more about gappers and how to find them and all that fun stuff, well, just keep on watching. So first off, let's just talk about what a gapper is. Now, when I say gapper, basically what I'm talking about here is I'm looking for a stock. Yesterday, this stock right here, KODK, it closed at $2.92. Now, this morning, the next day, it opened up pre-market at $3.03, and currently it's at $3.21. If you look at a larger time frame, you can see that gap there. You got a gap between yesterday's close, where the stock price closed at yesterday, and where the price opened this morning. So normally why this happens, all right, we can see on the chart maybe. This is a daily chart, again, from the 290s up to a 320. And one of the reasons that stocks gap up in the morning is because of news, is because of momentum. Something's going on, right? So if I'm looking at the stock here, KODK, I'm wondering, why is this stock gapping up? What's going on? What's the news? What's the real reason this stock is gapping up? But the first thing that I want to talk about is how I find these gappers. Now, I use Trade Ideas Gapper Scanner in the morning, and these are basically all the stocks that are gapping up from yesterday's close. So all these stocks right here on the list show me what stocks are gapping up, what stocks I should be looking at, and what stocks have potential for moves. Now, also, I want to make it very clear, just because a stock is gapping up higher does not mean the stock is going to continue to go higher. We're just looking for stocks that have action, have price action, that have volume, that have stuff going on. So the more action, the more of the gap, the more reason for us to keep an eye on it. And again, I say keep an eye on it because it's not always like, okay, this is the perfect time to jump in. I want to jump in right now at $3.20 on KODK because it's gapping higher, right? It's not how it always works. Now, I want to be looking at the resistance on the daily chart. I can see this morning it's gapping up there to 320. And look, we got some resistance, coming up there at the 330. We've come resistance out here at the 320 as well. So we got resistance in this area. So now I know, okay, the stock has resistance in that 320, 330 area. So I'm thinking, okay, if we can get above maybe 330, maybe we can push up here to the 360, 380 area, depending on the volume, depending on the price action of this stock. And again, every stock is going to move a little bit differently, depending on the float, depending on the news, what's going on, are their shares just short? Also, I don't want to give you guys too much information too fast, but a stock that is gapping up in the morning sometimes can be a beautiful short opportunity as well, because you get a little bit of news that comes out pre-market. People are buying, they're pushing the stock higher. Remember, supply and demand. The reason that a stock goes higher is because of demand and the supply is low. And a lot of times pre-market, there's just not a lot of volume. So a stock can go from $3 or $5 pre-market, and then as soon as the market opens, as soon as the normal volume comes in, the stock can go right back down. So there are opportunities to short these gappers as well. Really, I think the key here is just to look for gappers in general. Doesn't matter if it's gapping down, doesn't matter if it's gapping up, but I just want to look for gappers in general because that means that there's something going on with that stock and there's a reason for me to keep an eye on it. Normally what I do is I pull up all the gappers from the list there. I look through them. I see kind of what's going on. Is there volume? Is there news? Is there a reason for me to watch that stock? Like KODK today. The overall float here shows there's 39 million shares total in the float. Remember, the smaller the float, The less supply, the more demand, the stock price goes higher quicker, more volatility. Now, you got to also be careful because that volatility can also play against you. If it goes up really quick, it can easily come back down very quick. So I want to make it very clear for anybody out there who's new to day trading, you're a beginner or whatever it is. If you're trading gappers, you need to understand just because the stock is gapping up pre-market, just because the stock is gapping up at open, does not mean the stock is going to go to the moon. I've seen plenty of times when these stocks gap up big at open, they gap up big pre-market, and they come crashing back down once the real action starts, once the market opens. So you have to understand that there's risk, basically, with every trade. But when you're trading stocks with a lot of volatility, just because it's going up really quick does not mean it can't come down even quicker. A lot of times the stock that goes up 100% will crash back down even faster than it went up. They say that stocks take the stairs on the way up, and then stocks take the elevators on the way down. Let's look at a stock here, ZSAN. It's gapping down this morning, give you an idea of kind of what we look at too when a stock gaps down. So you can see ZSAN here had this big move on the daily chart, kind of almost looks like a beautiful bull flag kind of, but we got this action here on ZSAN, and then this morning from $5, yesterday's close was $5.01. This morning the stock is opening up at $3.85. So again, what do we got? We got a big gap in the chart. There's something going on there with that stock. So I should keep a look. I should keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. But what happened here on ZSAN, it looks like after hours yesterday, it came out with some news and it crashed down there to the 360 area, probably like an offering or something. I haven't even looked at the news. But there's also no shares to short, so I'm not even going to worry about this stock. If there were shares to short, I might look for an opportunity to get short and then look for the move to continue lower just by looking at the daily chart, kind of seeing like, okay, we had this big move recently. We've got looks like some serious support there at the 220 area, but it doesn't look like there's much support in this area from 320 or 380 down there to 220. There's not much support really. There's not really much price action in that area. We've had this big push, a lot of price action up there at the $5 area, but we just weren't able to go higher, and then now we're kind of in no man's land. Where's the support, where's the resistance, and what's going on in this area after we had this big move higher. So again, gappers are stocks that have news, stocks that are gapping up higher. PHSA, kind of similar move. On this one, you can see the daily chart from yesterday. It closed at $12.57, and right now it's $15.30. After hours, yesterday it gapped up. It pushed up there to 1760. This morning it's at 1520. So we had a big move after hours, and we're keeping an eye on it to see kind of what's going on with this stock. Again, no shares to short. Looks like some news came out after hours, maybe an earnings, stuff like that. And a lot of times when news comes out, when something is going on with the stock, that's why these stocks gap up, because there's a lot of demand. The stock moves higher. You can see on this 5-minute candle here, there's only 27,000 shares total. Move the stock from 1257 up there to 1478. Again, after hours, a lot of times less volume can move these stocks much faster because there's just not a lot of volume, there's not a lot of supply, and there's a lot of demand. So if news comes out after hours, if news comes out pre-market, you get a big push because there's not a lot of supply. Remember, supply and demand. Very simple. So I just want to kind of break that down for you guys, kind of thinking about what else you can keep an eye on. So it's not like a good, beautiful example today of like, a gap and go kind of stock. But let's say KODK. Let's say I'm looking here on KODK, just a hypothetical here, and I'm looking to get in on KODK to kind of play for this gap and go kind of strategy. Now, if this stock is making a pre-market high of $3.21, and let's say it pulls back down here to $3, and then at open it starts to push, I'm kind of watching for that $3.20 pre-market high as the resistance. I want to see that stock break above that pre-market high with strength, with volume, with action. If that happens, then I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of other people who are also watching the gappers. What are the stocks doing? Are they moving? What's going on? So a lot of people are trading this strategy. A lot of people wake up in the morning and do exactly what I'm doing right here. A lot of people wake up in the morning, they look at stocks, they say, oh, this stock has news, this stock is gapping up. So that's why these gap and go type of setups work, because there's a lot of people kind of looking for the same thing. A lot of people looking for volume, a lot of people looking for action, and that's what you really need as a day trader. You need action, you need volume, you need price action. You need a stock that's going from $3 to $4 and giving you an entry, giving you an exit. A stock that's only moving 5-10 cents every hour just isn't going to give you enough action to be able to get in and out quickly and make money. Obviously, you can say that you can lose money quickly as well, but you got to understand that with risk comes reward. The more risk, the more reward, but you have to be able to manage that risk. And, just going and buying 1,000 shares of any stock that's gapping up is not the best idea. So there it is. Now you guys should understand a little bit better what a gap and go stock is, what a gapper is, what I'm looking for in the morning. Very simple. Looking at trade ideas, looking at the gapper list. I'm looking at these stocks. I'm going through every single one of these stocks, keeping an eye on them, seeing the volume, seeing the action, maybe looking at the news. You can use Google, you can use Yahoo, whatever you want to use for news. There's different news services if you want to pay for it. I don't pay for any news services. For me, I'm just looking at kind of, Yahoo or Google or even StockTwits. And I'm going on there and kind of seeing what people are talking about. Why is the stock moving higher? What's the news? What's going on? And what are people thinking and all that fun stuff. So there it is. If you guys haven't already, do me one big favor. Hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know where you guys have been, what rock you've been living under. But you know what they say. I'm the $1 million man with $1 million plan. So hit that subscribe button. Let's go.